Today is Sunday, August 13th, and as you can tell, the wind is blowing pretty good today. See if you can see it back here. Yeah, a little bright, but it's blowing pretty good out here today. We had every single last bit of weather that you could imagine today. It was dumping rain this morning, super windy, and then it calmed down, got nice. Now the afternoon wind's picking back up, but we have an incoming tide. So what happens is on the incoming tide, the current is going the same direction as the wind. But even still, it's always tough to tell on these things, but you see it sheeping up just a little bit, just a few white caps, and that's not too bad right now. But in a few hours here, probably about 2 or 3 hours when that wind switches, I can see if I can show you here. We are going uphill. Maybe, there it is. We're going uphill at 3 miles an hour right now. And, oh, hey, look. Fish on the graph. They exist. And that pretty much sums up the day. I mean, it was fish on the graph all day long. I'm not even out here in the good part of the hole or anything, just kind of floating along just after dumping carcasses. And there were fish caught all day long, all throughout every tide. So I made a big mistake this morning. I thought that I was going to be clever and go way up above all these fish. I figured with the last part of the incoming tide happening, I got away from the fleet, tried to avoid the washing machine, and I marked fish, but they just did not want to play. So by the time I got back down there to the fleet, I'd already missed a pass or two as far as timing goes, and we paid for it in the morning bite. However, we did make up for it later on in the day. We ended up getting a coho and keeping 4 or 5 other Chinook and releasing a bunch, some tulies, and a bunch of shorts. And actually that brings up a good point. So you want to be sure to let all Chinook under 24 inches go. We're not allowed to keep jacks here below tongue point. I saw it happen a few times where fish look pretty darn close. If it's under 24 inches, got to go back. So keep that in mind. And something kind of cool happened today, but it was a little bit unfortunate too. We lost a really big upriver bright. We fought him for a long time. He wrapped around the boat 3 different times, running all over the place, chasing him down. And then we got him right next to the boat, and if we would have kept him pinned for 5 more seconds, we would have definitely had him in the box. He was easily over 40 pounds, just a truck. I mean, it was a big fish. Very sad to lose that one, but it happens. Especially barbless hooks, everything else, stuff happens. You just move on to the next one, and that's what we did. We ended up doing pretty good for the day. We had easily over 25 hookups. It was a fun day. And I spent the entire day pretty much within 2-3 miles of the exact same area. I just stayed on the Washington side above the bridge, and we paid for it first thing in the morning with the southwest wind, but when it started coming out of the west, northwest, it calmed down over there, so that's honestly why we stayed there. But hey, we were catching fish throughout the entire day. We started out with the triangle flashers, running bait and spinners, and we lost that big one on a green and gold spinner. In fact, I got it right here. Let's see if I can grab it here. Show it to you there. It'll focus. There we go. So essentially it's just a green and gold with the green hoochie on the back, and that thing got bit pretty darn well here today. And so I'm trying to block the wind a little bit for you guys. So that one got bit pretty well today. Red and white, I mean, you think Buoy 10, you think red and white spinner. It had 0 bites, 0. Kind of frustrating, but we got some on some blues and some pinks, and of course that green and gold one, that one did work today. A little bit later on the incoming tide, I noticed there were a lot of fish in the deep water, and I was getting bit okay on the triangle flashers, but Brandon actually called me up and said that he had got a few bites on the 360 flashers, so switched over to those and started getting bit a little bit better. And the best color was this guy right here. See if I can hold him a little bit better for you. There we go. And You can see he's pretty mangled. I'd say he got little beat up today. So again, it's just that Hildebrandt. I think it's called Red Racer. Yeah, I think it's called Red Racer, but it's gold blade, red chartreuse dot. That little 3.5 spinner did really well today when we did switch over to the 360 flashers on the incoming tide. We put garlic on the spinners on the 360 flashers, and also garlic when we hooked that big fish onto that green and gold spinner. And again, it's one of those deals where I don't know if it helped, but sure as heck didn't hurt, especially with that big fish that did chew on the garlic on that green and gold. So I don't know if it made a difference, but it didn't hurt. So that pretty much wraps up what I did today. What I heard from everybody else was that around the Hammond area, all the way on down the Red Can line was good. I didn't hear any reports from Chinook, Ilwaco, anything down in there. I don't know if there were guys fishing that, but really from about Chinook all the way up to Portuguese Point, which is up above Shipwreck, a few miles, that entire stretch had fish. And then the Oregon side actually went pretty good this morning too, up here at the ship anchorage. So definitely spread out. Honestly, there's a lot of Chinook that pushed in. It sounds like a handful of coho pushed in as well. There's going to be hopefully a pretty darn good week of fishing. Let's cross our fingers. Yesterday was good. Today was good. I think the bite yesterday morning was probably better than what we saw today, but today it was consistent all day long, and that was nice. So that's our Buoy 10 update here for today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow. Later.